baby, the ROG Phone 6 is freaking finally in my hands and I am excited because you know why? Finally a goddamn phone that doesn't look like the other lame shit that is out there. And as a gamer, this phone tickles me in all the right places. Alright kids, settle down, let's talk about the design. First off, the phone that I have here is the ROG Phone 6 Pro. So that's like the top of the line and it stands out from the other non-Pro editions by this mini LED display at the back of the phone. And not to mention the freaking sick design that comes at the back. Not to mention that it also has this frosted glass-like finish, which does add a little nice touch to the phone. Makes it a bit more premium in my opinion, you know. And not to mention they also have like two LEDs at the back of the phone. One is that display and the second one is this Dare to Play logo that lights up when you turn on the phone or even when you turn on the gaming mode on the phone. Now on the sides you will find the power button and the volume rocker, a 1 USB Type-C charging port at the bottom alongside a 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the other side you will find a Type-C charging port, and next to that is the SIM tray. The air triggers are also here with additional functionality allowing you to have like swipe functions and touch and let go functions. It's a lot of functions, okay? And I'm not gonna list them all down here because there are like 9 of it. So here's a diagram for you. Pause the video while you take a look. Alright, we're done. Now the screen doesn't have a very high body ratio. In fact, there are bezels at the top and bottom of the phone. And this is actually a very smart design, especially on a gaming phone, because I'm pretty sure that those of you who game on your phone do not want any of that distractions like a notch, a teardrop display, a punch hole display all on your phone. In fact, the bezels actually add some functionality to the phone because when you grip the phone, you are not actually covering the screen of the phone because that bezel is kind of blocking the skin of your palms from the screen of the phone. So pretty good design in my opinion. Now speaking about the display, it comes with a 6.7-inch AMOLED display that supports HDR10 and 165Hz refresh rate. But that aside, while it might be an AMOLED display, again, I don't know why, but ASUS is kind of shy to turn up the saturation. No doubt it's a really nice display and I think it's lovely for whether you're going to be playing games or watching videos. And the colors are still very good. And of course, I know that it is a preference thing, but what is nice is that you can manually adjust the saturation in the settings. And another thing for you hardcore mobile gamers, this phone has a sampling rate of 720 Hz with a touch latency of 23 milliseconds. Okay, let's get to the juicy bits. And the performance is holy shit, color me impressed. Because this phone comes with a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 and freaking 18GB of RAM in the Pro model coupled with 512GB of storage. Yes, I shit you not, 18GB of RAM. Now I'm going to treat this phone as a proper gaming console and play 4 games that I personally find are the most intensive on a smartphone. The 4 games are Asphalt 9, Genshin Impact, Sky, and Call of Duty Mobile. Okay, yeah, I know Call of Duty Mobile might not be the most intensive game out there, but it's nice because I get to test out the air triggers with that game. Now, all of these games that I mentioned are in the highest graphical settings possible with the highest frame rate enabled. And in Asphalt 9, I'm getting a steady 59 frames per second and never lower. The thermals are also pretty decent, I would say. It's like 38 to 37 degrees. Genshin Impact, while does maintain an average of 45 to 50 FPS, does heat up the phone quite a bit. And in my testing, I got about 43 degrees. Sky, on the other hand, is steady at 30 FPS on the highest graphical settings possible, which is sadly limited to only 30 FPS, while temperatures are also capped at 38 degrees. And finally, Call of Duty Mobile, stable 60 FPS and the temperatures are around 37 to 38 degrees Celsius. Now all of these values are without the Aero Active Cooler, which I should probably talked about, right? Now, this thing, I don't like it. I know that it helps to cool down the phone and further adds like 4 more buttons to the overall phone, But damn, this thing is heavy though, and when you actually hook it up, it takes up a lot of space at the back of the phone. I find it very awkward to hold this phone while the cooler is attached to the phone. It does lower down the temperature, but it's not like a day and night difference, because sadly in Genshin Impact it goes down to like 40 degrees Celsius, and in every other game I tested, it goes down by 2 or 3 degrees. Again, the active cooler is alright, because it does add more buttons to your gameplay experience, but with its weight and its actual cooling performance, I don't think that it will do much for the gaming experience other than the small reduction in heat and again, you know, the extra buttons. But honestly, the weight and the lack of space, yeah, really kills it for me though. But that aside, the overall gaming experience is fantastic, especially on Genshin Impact. I can safely say that no phone has come close to these numbers. Yes, the phone feels hot, and if you're worried about that, you can turn down the graphic settings, but aside from that, it's bloody impressive, honestly. Just adding on to the gaming experience, you can also swipe from the top left or top right of the screen to bring up what it's called the Game Genie, which allows you to quickly set up the X mode settings, as well as map your air triggers in your game, free up RAM, browse some YouTube videos while the game is running, and you can also block out messages. Okay, so software-wise, now similar to the other ROG phones, you have the option to choose between the Zen UI and the ROG UI. And what's also nice is that it's also running on Android 12. I won't go too much into it, but if you like the stock Android experience, I think that the Zen UI will be more for you. But at the end of the day, both these UIs are very simple and very basic UIs, and honestly, that's not a bad thing. And also, once again, the Armory Crate software also makes a comeback. And here's where basically you can choose, like, you know, all your games are located there. You can change the performance of the phone there. You can also change the animation at the back of the phone. And trust me, there are like too much animations in my opinion. It's pretty hard to pick out what I wanted. I decided to go for the basic, just show me the clock. You've seen the Armory Crate before, you know what it does. Basically, the additions to the Armory Crate is the ability to modify the animation that appears behind here, as well as control the settings of the Aero Active Cooler. But here's a pro tip for you guys out there, okay? You can basically just squeeze the phone and that will turn on the gaming mode as well. You can also use it to turn it off and on. Okay, now we get to the part where I don't know why it's on a gaming phone, but it's there. They have cameras, okay? The cameras are not too bad. There is a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. Now, the pictures does look pretty good. Details might not be the best that I've seen on a camera phone, but colors are really nice. The exposure control can also be slightly better, but overall, if you're not too much into cameras, which would make sense, that's why you would buy a gaming phone, right? It's still going to be good enough. Even night shots are not too bad. There are some certain issues with the details, like the details are not great, obviously, but it's good that it can actually light up the shot pretty well. And I was also surprised that there was not a lot of noise that is visible. As for the selfie camera, it has a 12 megapixel sensor. And it's alright. If you need to be on live stream on the go, I think that it's still gonna do the job for you. And if you're a very vain person that wants to take a lot of pictures, use the Instagram filters. That'll probably help your face. Alright, as for video wise, it can record both at 1080p and 4K at 60 FPS. Okay, for the battery, powering this device is a dual 300 mAh battery which can easily last a day's worth of gaming. And on normal usage, it can last up to 1.5 days. It also supports 65 watts of charging, which will get you a full charge in just over an hour. Okay, the pricing. The Pro model comes in at 5,000 ringgits, which yes, I think that it's slightly on the expensive side because it's really close to a normal flagship phone price. And I only recommend that you get the Pro edition if you are like super hardcore into mobile gaming. The ROG Phone 6. Like, I am super happy with this phone. I am really enjoying my time with this phone. Of course, it's a gaming phone and I'm a performance person. I don't really care that the cameras might not be the best, I will still be using my own flagship phone for the camera side of things, but I am extremely happy with the performance of this phone. I'm extremely happy with the features that this phone has. It's a bit extra, I know, it's a bit extra, but it's nice, right? It's unique, it's different, and God knows that I need to see a phone that is different because every damn phone out there is the same. This is fun, okay? That's the important thing, but it's not for everyone, okay? If you are not a mobile gamer, you are not going to benefit from a lot of the features on this phone, and that would be a waste of money for you. But if you are someone who plays a lot of phone games, or someone like me who appreciates a phone that has super fast performance, that has no lags, has no shutters, and just gets the job done, this is fantastic. But let me know what you think about gaming phones in general, and also the ROG Phone 6 in the comments below. I forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah, I'm gonna go play some video games on this phone. I'll see you in the next video.